Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. So for as long as I can remember, the MVP award has usually been won by, point guard, shooting guard, or some variation of a forward out there. Rarely do centers get looked upon when it comes down to this award, and I really think that just is because the changing of the NBA game, and out of every single position, the center position was the one that took the longest to catch up to where we are at now in the league. With that being said, though, man, this NBA season that we are currently in, you could argue that the two top guys that could actually win the award are both centers, that being Nikola Jokic and Joel Embiid. And what makes this even better is that, these guys have really been competing over the past 5-6 seasons of them being in the NBA for that top center spot. And really no way you look, whatever way you look at it, I should say, some seasons Joel plays a little better. Some season Nikola Jokic plays a little better. This season, though, has come full circle, and both these guys are literally playing off the charts, man. So with that being said, though, I thought it would be a lot of fun, to see what if both of these players got traded for each other or switch teams, however you really want to say it, how differently would these guys play, with a different roster, different environment, and really a different fan base too, man. So for today's video, we are going to be trading Nikola Jokic for Joel Embiid and seeing how exactly that is going to work out. If you guys don't mind dropping that like, would be greatly appreciated, man. 1,000 likes is always a goal. Also, check out my second channel, Extra Crispy, for daily NBA content over there. And as you guys can see on the screen here, man, we got Jokic and we got Joel Embiid. So both these guys are 95 overall players. I mean, as they should be. Right near the top of the NBA as far as talent goes. So Joel Embiid on this season is averaging about 30 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 assists per game. He's really extended his three-point range. He's shooting nearly 40%, man. And the way this guy handles the basketball, some of the moves the process puts on, it's like, how the hell is this man 7 foot? You know what I'm saying? Like, he moves like a guard. And, I mean, there's another guy that plays exactly like a guard himself, and that's Mr., Nikola Jokic, the Joker himself, who on this season's averaging 26 points, 11 rebounds, and 9 assists per game. So, yes, as far as the way these guys play, I mean, they play, like stat-wise, they're pretty similar, with Jokic being a bit of a better playmaker, but Embiid being a bit of a better defensive player. While they have similar stats, they do kind of play completely different, right, man? So it's going to be kind of interesting to see what happens when they get traded for each other. So the first thing we have to do is obviously make that happen. So let's go to the propose a trade, and it's going to be Joel Embiid, who's on a 3-year, $30 million contract per season contract. Language is fun. In exchange for Jokic, and I forgot what his deal's looking like. It's got to be a max contract, right? They didn't extend him by now. They never will. And, yeah, he's on a 3-year, $30 million contract himself. So both got the max contracts at that point in time with their specific team. That's good to see. So let's see if 2K says it's a good trade, and do both. I guess I'm both user teams, so I guess, yes, I agree to the trade right here. There we go, man. So let's get into this and see what this roster's looking like and see how these players would play, with their new teammates and everything. So I think it is important to note, though, when it's talk about like the MVP battle, that, Embiid has played 33 games this season from what I'm reading, and Jokic is at 51, so there is something to be said about that. But when it comes to actually dominating on the court, both these guys, man, top tier, right? So looking over at the Philadelphia 76ers. Okay, so we got Jokic at the center position, and to be quite honest, man, I absolutely love this team around him. You have shooting all around with one exception, but what I will say, though, is I think Ben Simmons would play a lot better with Jokic. But the way I would actually utilize Ben Simmons, and I don't mean to sound disrespectful towards him, because you guys know from like my live streams and stuff like that, man, I say that Ben Simmons is one of the most underrated players in the NBA. But I think the way Ben Simmons would need to play in this lineup would be very similar to how Aaron Gordon plays alongside Jokic, and that is using that 6'10 frame, using that athleticism to cut to the basket, and obviously handle the basketball at times. But we want to run things through Jokic and just use that speed. I mean, this is one of the quickest players in the NBA. So I feel like that would be the best way, where it's like, if the ball's in Ben Simmons' hands, that means it's not being ran through Jokic, and that's not really optimal at that point. So, yeah. Now, you guys let me know in the comment section below, because Ben Simmons is obviously, the second best player on this team alongside Jokic there. Who would you rather have alongside Jokic, Ben Simmons or Jamal Murray? Who do you guys think is a better fit? And outside of that, we got Seth Curry. I mean, the three-point shooting being opened up from Jokic, obviously being there. You got Danny Green at the 3 spot, Tobias Harris at the 4. I don't really think there needs to be much change here as far as how these guys play, and obviously the bench. Honestly, you probably could run a little Dwight Howard Jokic, front court. I don't know if it would be ideal to do, but it definitely could happen. You got Shake Milton, George Hill, Tyrese Maxey, Matisse Thybulle. So yeah, man, it's going to be interesting. But I think you run the offense pretty much the same, surround them with shooters. The only thing I would change is maybe not use Ben Simmons as the primary ball handler as much. I mean, he could still be it at times, but just not as much. And then looking over at the Denver Nuggets, I mean, I look at this and, like, we've not really seen Joel Embiid played with, like, a great offensive point guard before, and once again, that's not disrespectful towards Ben Simmons. I mean, we know Ben Simmons' strengths are his strengths, his weaknesses are his weaknesses. There's a lot of things that Ben Simmons can do that Jamal Murray cannot do, so I just want to point that out real quick here, man. But this team makes me really excited for Joel. Like, I got a feeling in the Western Conference, this might be like a damn, like, 68-win team. And yet again, man, it's nothing against Jokic. It's just, I recognize the dominant play of Joel Embiid, and just having, you know, some of the shooting around him like that, it's going to be nice. Not to mention that we also got, like, the height, the athleticism too. So both teams are top teams in their conferences. So there's not really much to, like, complain about. I mean, as far as, like, you know, Joel playing on the Nuggets or Joel playing on the 76ers, no matter how you look at it, he's going to have good talent around him, right? So I think that's important to note. And a very deep bench for the Nuggets. They got one of the deeper benches in the NBA. A lot of good talent over here. So this should be a lot of fun to witness. And I'm really hoping these teams go up against each other in the finals. I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but that would definitely be a lot of fun to watch. So yeah, I'm going to say Joel Embiid on, I'm gonna say 61 wins for the Denver Nuggets. I feel like they can pull off 61 wins, you know, if Jamal Murray plays like Bubble Murray, of course. And I'm going to say for the 76ers, they got to deal with, like, the Brooklyn Nets. I mean, obviously, they got to deal with the Lakers, the Denver Nuggets, too. But I'm going to say 58 wins for the 76ers. Both are still going to be top teams. So let's go ahead here and simulate this and see what happens here, man. Simulate through date. And just real quick here, I want to give you guys my thoughts, you know, as far as, like, the MVP battle goes. I will say my number one MVP right now is Jokic. I just feel like you can't ignore that stat line that he's putting up, because he is only averaging 3 less points than Joel Embiid. But he's also giving, you know, just as many rebounds at 11 a game, but really it's the 9 assists that makes the big difference. And even, like, defensively too. I do know that, you know, Joel is a better, like, interior defender, but Jokic is still averaging nearly 2 steals a game, man. So he still finds a way to, like, at least contribute defensively, and he's much better than he was in years past regardless, right? So, but their stats are so similar. So I think at that point, like I was saying earlier, you kind of have to look at, okay, like, how many games have these guys played? And Jokic has played, I believe, 18 more games. So that is important, man, in the deciding factor. I know there's a lot of people that are asking me to, on my live stream I did on my second channel lecture, Crispy, will LeBron win MVP? And I said probably not, because he's missing so many games. That's all part of it. It's like when you have so much talent in the NBA, you know, you can dominate, but there's those little things, you know, missing games and stuff like that, and that you can't really control. If you're injured, but it is a deciding factor. And obviously, too, you know, there's a chance that neither one of Joel or Jokic win it, although I think one of them should, just to show respect towards the center position and how much it's changed. But, you know, a guy like Giannis could win it again, or maybe like a James Harden, right? Both those guys have won it in years past, of course. Or maybe LeBron does win it. Maybe he comes back from his injury and just puts up 60 points a game. I don't really know, man. But record-wise, we got the 76ers at 54-27 for them. So, yeah, that's still pretty damn good. And we got 16-22. So if we actually, do we got one more? Oh, we don't got one more game, man. I was going to say, if we had one more game, then we could have actually went for that 61 record that I predicted. So I was pretty on the nose with Embiid and the Denver Nuggets. I guess I overrated the 76ers maybe a little bit in this case. Similarly through date, though, and finished with an L on the season. We got Jokic winning the MVP, though. So worst record, getting the MVP, which I guess is real life too, right? Because the Nuggets have a worse record right now than making this video than the 76ers. But Jokic might win MVP. I don't really know, man. 31 points, 14 rebounds, 9 assists per game. Pretty much identical stats to what he's putting up in real life. With the exception of a few less assists, but a few more rebounds. We got LaMelo as Rookie of the Year, Dinwiddie as 6th man. Okay. And we got All-NBA first, so Jokic making that. All-NBA second, Joel Embiid making that as he should. And there's the rest of everything else, while Ben Simmons, of course, again, that all-defensive team. So, yes, we are first seed for the Denver Nuggets, and okay, third seed. I was like, did they not make the playoffs winning 54 games? Because that would be literally insane, man. I don't think that's physically impossible for a team to do that. Unless, like, yeah, I don't think that could literally happen, man. But yes, I'm sure there's probably a way. But let's go to these player stats on the season. So, We know Jokic's stat line outside of him. Tobias at 23 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists per game. Yeah, just a nice veteran scorer that can score in, multitude of ways. Ben Simmons, 19 points. So his scoring, I believe, is actually up. Let me actually look this up here real quick here, man. I got it pulled up on my screen. So Ben Simmons, I don't think he's averaging 19 points in real life. He's averaging 15. It's actually a career low in scoring for him. So he was able to somehow put up more buckets. Maybe that's Jokic kind of finding him on the cut, like I was saying. About 8 rebounds, 8 assists per game. So yeah, this worked out really nicely for him. And he shot a nice 0% from 3. 66% field goal percentage, though. You love to see that. And then, the shooters, Seth Curry, Shake Milton, Danny Green, all those guys played their selective role and put up pretty decent numbers. So we got that over for the Denver Nuggets. We got Joel. 26 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists per game, about 1 steal and 2 blocks. So defense is still there. Scoring down maybe a little bit. I think a big reason behind that is obviously having Jamal Murray at the point guard spot. That means probably less shots. And while Jamal's he's a fine passer. I have nothing against him as a point guard and stuff, but obviously not going to look for the open man as much as the Ben Simmons would. So that does make a difference. But still overall really good stat line. 38% from 3. Michael Porter was 43% from 3. I will say, I don't think Aaron Gordon's as good a fit alongside Joel Embiid as he is Jokic, and I feel like Tobias Harris is better alongside maybe Joel Embiid than he is compared to Jokic himself, too. I really like Aaron Gordon coming to the basket off of Jokic's passes and stuff, right, man? So, yeah, there is a few, minor tweaks here and stuff, but that's how it is in real life, where it's hey, a team is built this way around the star players. So, when you just trade them like that, things are going to happen, and, just mismatches and things are not going to work out. But regardless, both these teams play nicely, and I think both of them can actually get to the finals in this video. Maybe. I mean, Brooklyn, that's tough as hell, man. Let's go ahead and simulate round right here. See how this goes. And we got the Denver Nuggets winning 4-2, and Philly 4-1. So, closeout game 27-20 for Joel, 25 for Jamal Murray. And over here we got Jokic dropping a billion. No, triple-double though, 30, 10, and 11. All right, see if both these teams can move on to the conference finals. And yes, they do. 7-game series for Denver over Portland. 25 for Aaron Gordon that game. And we got 19-13 with 4 for Joel. Okay. And then over here we got the man Jokic with a 30, 15, and 6. Just literally putting the team on his back. And the Nets actually got eliminated by the Celtics, man. So I'm seeing, by the Celtics in a 7-game series. So we very well could actually get to the finals both sides. And hey, look at that, man. Denver Nuggets, Philadelphia 76ers. Definitely a tougher road for Denver. I mean, they literally had a 6-game series, 7-game series, 7-game series. And Philly was just kind of taking care of work on their end, man. So, yeah, this is absolutely crazy. Okay, I love seeing it, though. Love seeing it. Okay, crazy triple-double for Jokic again. So, let's see how this goes. I want to see Joel Embiid block Ben Simmons. That would just be kind of fun to watch. Simulate with Simcast. Game 1. See how this be here, man. See how this be. And looks like it be going pretty good for really. Oh, damn. Denver came out of nowhere. 110-109. 25-6 for Jamal. 23-12 for Joel Embiid. And we got 40 for Jokic in their first meeting against each other in the playoffs. Similar with Simcast. Game 2. Let's go, man. It's looking like a blowout for Denver this time around. Looks like Denver has their number, man. 134-105. 32-12 for Joel Embiid. 22 for Michael Porter. And we got 39-14 for Jokic. So Ben Simmons actually is scoring really nicely, man. I think he had 20 plus in the last game, 28, 6, and 5 in this one. It's just, Tobias 3-14, not playing nicely. I don't really know why that is, but that's just how it is. Simulate with Simcast. Game 3. Let's see if Philly can pull one together here. And looking pretty good for them, man. 115-99, guys. Okay, we got 25 for Michael Porter, 31, 12, and 11 for Jokic. Simulate with Simcast. Let's go. Looking like a good-ass series, man. Okay, so home court advantage is definitely taking over here. Philly winning 120-104, 19 for Joel Embiid, so very balanced scoring, but still at the same time kind of low scoring, all things considered with this one. But my God, Ben Simmons. Where is this part of you, man? Where's it been? He is playing beautiful off Jokic. Okay, simulate with Simcast. Let's get it, man. And, Philly's coming off to the races this time around. And we have, it looks like, yes, we have the first away team winning a game, man. 135-116, 27 for Embiid, 27 for Ben Simmons. And Jokic, just a minor 23, 16, and 18. All right, 3-2 for 76ers, man. I believe they blew a 2-0 lead so far. Similar with Simcast. See how this ends here, guys. See how this ends. Or if it doesn't, maybe it goes to a game 7. I don't really know. And Denver is going to win this big time, 146 to 117. 29 for Paul Millsap, guys. Tapping into that fountain of youth. Oh, we got 37 for Tobias, 32 for Ben Simmons. Jokic at 14, 7, and 10. Game 7. Game 7 NBA Finals. Jokic Embiid. I'm going to say whoever wins this game, whatever player wins this game, is going to win the MVP. That is my prediction. That is what I'm bringing it down to. And it's looking like it's going to be a close one, man. But ultimately speaking, it's going to go to Joel Embiid and the Denver Nuggets, 148 to 139, man. 29 for Jamal Murray, 29 for Joel Embiid, 20 for Will Barton, and 38 and 5 for Jokic, 28 for Ben Simmons. I mean, that's a hell of a game. That's a hell of a series right there. And there we go. Joel Embiid as the finals MVP. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed this video, man. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to drop that like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and peace out, my friends.